I'ma be honest, we always see like videos, all these people saying like, oh, you wanted to, you would. If you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, you would. Now, I feel like there is a thing when it comes to unlocking that special magic that you have. However, it's not really unknown. It's something that it's kind of obvious, but no one really talks about it. And I do have work in a couple of minutes, aka in 30 minutes. Why not record this video while basically locking in for work? And I feel like the premise of this title already just tells you about what this entire video is about. Now, I always see these toxic hustle cultures either on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube about having some X, Y, and Z mindset. You know, you have to achieve your full potential by doing this certain hack. And it takes one to know one because I'm gonna be honest, I used to be one of those girlies, one of those baddies, one of those high value baddies that also used to think like that too. Basically, it's really toxic for your mental health not to settle boundaries for yourself because I feel like obviously you can do the groundwork, you can create all X, Y, and Z, but the one thing you cannot have, the one thing you need that's a non-negotiable is a boundary. So we're gonna get into it. My point one is that success is born from mistakes. Now you always hear the phrase, if you wanted to, you would. Time after time, we always hear this from either our friendships to romantic partnerships to even the work ethic. It's true, if you wanted to, you would. But did they tell you if you wanted to, you would? Now, I don't know if that makes sense, but what I'm trying to say is if you did want to, you would. But the thing is, you need to have the drive and ambition for it. Simple as that. You need the drive and ambition because no matter of things that you want to do, you want to pursue, if you don't have that groundwork to have that, in all honesty, it's going to break apart and fall apart. Setbacks, mistakes, failing, these are all things that make you learn as a person, that make you kind of progress in your own journey or your own story as a person. Now, there was this one time, actually not even one time, it was actually kind of recent where I was very irresponsible with money. I had no idea of how money works. And I know a lot of people are going to say, like, well, you know, you should have watched it online. Yes, I know. I know that now. Thing is, at the time, I wasn't aware. And because of that, it really took a damage to something that was personal to me that ended up paying the price to now. Now I'm more well equipped with that. So, what I'm trying to say is that anything that is considered a mistake, a failure, a setback in your eyes, that could be considered an opportunity to learn and grow from that. Because of this, it taught me how to really finance well, how to budget, how to X, Y, and Z. Because I'm gonna be honest, giving someone who was fresh out of high school a lot of money is crazy work. That's crazy work as a viewer. How can you apply this? Well, think back to a situation where you were like, oh, this is really not giving. I look like a clown. I look like X, Y, and Z. And what did you learn from that? What did you learn from that situation? If you feel like you learned a lot, own that. I can promise you, a lot of the people that we see nowadays, they did not get there overnight. They either had to take a course about it, they either had to learn about it, they either had to experience every X, Y, and Z for them to get to that point. Now, speaking of points, here's my point two. Using your drive as your core to march on. What exactly is it something you want to achieve? Do you want to plan for an emergency fund? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to have a better, well paying job? Do you want to have a house? What is your drive? What is your goal? Now, use that fire as your ability to create your new future, your new life. And ironically, I just watched Julia Brune's news video. I'm not sure if it's newest, but I think it's first video. She first initially was in the influencer marketing aspect, but mostly working with celebrities, influencers, and handling the business aspect for their social media accounts. And because of that, she slowly realizing that she wanted more. She realized she had all these sets of skills that she could not only capitalize, help herself and people around her that want to go into that aspect. And I feel like that is really inspirational because you see a lot of influencers nowadays that give off like really salesy types of beat, but that's for another video, y'all. That's for another video. Because of that, she was able to build successful business because of her drive. Or if you ever want to think about someone who's in the fashion aspect, you can think of Anna Delvey. Compared to controversy about her, I will have to do a tick for toe that she did in a way create a successful business model. Countless articles or documentaries or X, Y, and Z's about her talks about how she was first like not really a nobody. In a way, she navigated her life through New York and kind of networked with a lot of people where she had to be and where she had to go because she had a vision, aka the Anna Delvey Foundation for herself. However, though, she's not only a model, she was featured on Dancing with the Stars. She's also on the runway too. She's doing so many things that she's been wanting to do, or even in that order aspect of wanting to do something similar, that now she has created a household name for herself. And that was solely on the purpose of an ambition to succeed. So how can your ambition be a symbol of you being able to mold mobilize your movement. I like to think of items. I'm very much hardcore gamer. I'm very much a hardcore gamer back in the day. So I would say I either think of League of Legends, either that or Genshin Impact. And I think Genshin Impact, that's a really easy way to kind of symbolize. Think of like a artifact that you would have or a symbol, whether it could be for me, it could be my camera. It's my symbol for me to continue moving on because at least I'm making something for you, for us to improve our lives, to feel motivated in life. If it's for you and you want to become a beauty guru and you want to go into the makeup aspect, you could think of your brushes as your aspect to move on to create that movement that every day you're creating something for yourself. And that's the entire purpose of what Genshin Impact is. A lot of people are rewarded these trinkets or gifts from the universe that symbolizes their ambition to succeed, to move on. I think one of my favorite characters, her name is Barbara. Barbara from Genshin Impact. She was very committed on healing this one child. She was really committed to healing someone or doing X, Y, and Z in an effort to really seeing him healing all his ailments to the point that she was granted the Hydro Vision, where she felt the justice that she wanted to heal and help people. Something that symbolizes for you to keep moving on, for you to create something for yourself, whether it's you creating a business, whether it's you getting a good, well paying job. What is the symbol that's going to keep motivating you? And it could be a vision board, could be a mirror, could be a makeup brush, could be even something as simple as a serum from The Ordinary. Now, if you made it to this far of the video, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you do. If you love my little cutesy rants, please subscribe or share with anyone. And sometimes you guys are like my therapist. Thank you for thank you, y'all. Like it really y'all made the video like this one video that I uploaded that I honestly did not think was gonna really go that it was reaching like 500 views. I was like, oh, period. Okay, y'all. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Your support really means a lot to me. Now, point 3 is creating your foundation. Now, going back to how I first introduced the video, your drive. The most obvious thing is that your drive creates your foundation. Now, obviously, a foundation symbolizes, stability, something that doesn't ever move, that never really moves. It's something that's eternal. It's literally bricked up. But what the fuck? How do all these successful like Harvard kids get the straight A's or get the X, Y, and Z's? Or how do people in bio do the X, Y, and Z's and do the X, Y, and Z's? Or how are these influencers working day and night doing the X, Y, and Z's? Or how are these doctors doing the X, Y, and Z's? Because of their drive. Because of their drive. Let's be honest, you can have the drive, but you can't have the foundation. And you can't have the foundation without the drive. It's like a balance, and you need both. For example, for me, I obviously I tend to love social media so much, but I tend to dive deep into so many things. But what is my core foundation? Because clearly I have the drive for it, because I feel like I go bounce around between one thing to another to X, Y, and Z to a lot. Like, it's confusing, right? It's confusing because no one gets me. When you have the drive, you need to use that so you can figure out how you create that foundation. So you can weave in, weave out, weave out. I'm gonna tell you, at one point I used to act like this. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, lookbooks, my problem, or scenarios, like people like Natalie Tran. I hope you know who she is. She runs community channel. I used to act like that, and I will promise you, like, that person was so passionate about social media, or very passionate about social media, because they wanted to get into social media. But the thing is, like, they did not have a strong foundation of creating that. So it's literally either posting consistency or figuring out what is a good. It was early YouTube. They had no idea what the fuck they were posting. Let's be honest. When you're a 14-year-old, you have no idea what the fuck you're posting. Because of that, your drive builds consistency. So as long as you have the ambition, and the one thing my professor had taught me is that no matter days that you can go, the one thing you're going to need is both consistency and drive. Sometimes you need to make the first move. If you need to decide to make the fucking move, make the fucking move. At the end of the day, you're gonna be stuck in paralysis, thinking and wondering, and what if this is gonna happen? What if? Well, that's gonna only what it's only gonna ever be if you need to take action. Because when you take action, that drives consistency. Because you're exposing yourself to the unknown, and you're creating a schedule. You're creating a habit. You're creating a lot. In conclusion, I will say I have a very weak foundation. I will be honest. I have a very weak foundation when it comes to social media. Some days I'm going to want to post X, Y, and Z, and some days I want to do X, Y, and Z. Some days I'm gonna disappear for like a hot ass fucking year. But if I'm able to show up for my job and show up that consistency, and I have the drive to clock in, I need to do that for myself. Because I'm gonna be honest, if I wanted to, I would. So if you need a sign to do X, Y, and Z, let this video be your sign. Because you need a sign, here's a fucking sign. We're locked in together, y'all. We're locked in. We're trauma bonded. Now we stay. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Who knows what I'll be posting next. Anyways, Bye, y'all.